Grand Rising, my beautiful family. How are you this beautiful morning? How are you doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing great. I am starting off my day handling some business, and Spirit just moved me to come on and share this message that I suddenly was given to give to you. And so I wanted to just start out by saying, I want to talk about the church. And the first point I want to make to you is that the church needed you more than you needed the church. Let's talk about the church for a minute. The church, first of all, the origin of the church. I won't go into the origin. You can find that information. It's very visible. You can find it in a lot of places. It's available for you. But understanding the origin of the church, doing your research and understanding will help you better understand this message. And I've heard people say, I go to church because the church helps me become more spiritual, and it also helps me to be a good person. Well, I want to say to you about that is the church, you were born spiritual. Spiritual was born in you already. And as far as being a good person, that nature is in you as well. It is a lie that they teach us that we are born in sin. That's a whole lie. And then originally we had the 42 laws of Ma'at. So the church was created to benefit from you. You were already spiritual. You were born spiritual. You were jumping up and down and spiritual dancing before the church was even created, because that was already in you. So the church was created basically to benefit from you, to garnish your energy, to garnish your spirit, to take control of your mind, to collect dollars, to collect currency, and ultimately, though, to control you. So the church could only benefit from you. There's not much you can get other than to be able to congregate with other fellow Christians or whatever faith that you choose. And you can do that without the church. The church has benefited greatly off of what you bring to the church. So know that the ultimate, if you understand the origin of the church, there's an ultimate motive that those that created the church had in mind to further their agenda in taking and keeping control of you, your energy, your spirit, your soul. So they used the church to get what they needed from you, from us. And in order to understand that, you may not see it on the surface, but if you dig in and do some research, you'll definitely understand what I'm trying to convey to you. We never needed the church. You hear some people say, we are the church. The church is in us. So we are spiritual people. We were born spiritual. Our nature is spiritual. That's who we are. And like I said earlier, we were dancing and they call it the holy dance. We were doing that before we knew about a church, because that was also in us as well. Yeah. So Understand, go back, research, understand who created the church, dig in and research, find out why, because those answers are available as well. Find out why they created the church and dig a little bit deeper, and you'll understand who really benefits. Who really benefits when it comes to church? Who really, really benefits? I've seen so many people, a lot of elderly especially, that have died in poverty because of the church. I've known several elderly people who have just given all their little dollars, they little, and most of them lived off a set income, and they just take all their little coins and give them to the pastor in the church, only to get back maybe a sermon or two and a pat on the back, and the opportunity to network with other members in the church, and they die in poverty. I've seen it. I know several elderly people that have had that experience. So if you really dig in deep and try to understand what the church is all about, you will be shocked, probably some of you will, at what you'll find out. Control is the ultimate. And know who created the church, who created the whole system, and how they benefit and how much they benefit. They make billions of dollars every year off of people like you and I. And when I used to go to church, I grew up in the church, and I was never comfortable because I couldn't. There was always something nagging at me. There was always something I felt that just was not right. There was a demonic spirit that seemed to be lingering around, that was nudging at me, even when I was a young 12 and 13-year-old. I'm like, what is it? And I ignored it for as long as I could, till I finally couldn't ignore it any longer. And I had to start asking questions and digging in and researching, and most of the questions that I asked, I never got an answer. Or if I did get an answer, it didn't make sense to me, because I knew something was wrong. Something was wrong about the motive of the church. So I just want to again just reiterate, you are spiritual at birth. You are born spiritual. That's in you. Nobody can create that. Nobody can pull that out. It's in you. Nobody can formulate that. You're already born with it. The church can't make you be spiritual. The most that I have ever seen in my experience that with receiving from the church is a place to congregate, a place to meet with other like minds, and that's it. That's all I've ever got out of the church. And well, one more thing, I have experienced some deep church hurt, which that actually set me on my journey. That actually pushed me to start digging a little deeper to try to understand the origin of the church. It was some of the evil that the pastors and the so-called first ladies and some of the members and so-called high places in the church, their behavior, their hateful, mean, evil behavior set me on a journey to find out exactly what I found. The conspiracy and it's the word I'm looking for. There's a word I'm looking for. I can't think of it right now. But actually, all of the evil that I have found in the church, that's how I found it. By seeing the wickedness of the people, the pastors and the members that were in so-called high places, watching their behavior and how they treated people, especially behind closed doors. The hypocrisy is the word I was looking for. Then I began to see the hypocrisy in the church. I remember confronting the pastor and his wife about some ugly, evil stuff one day, and they got me and my husband in the office, And I guess they were just sick of certain ones of us that just wouldn't accept, the things we were seeing. And we're asking questions. And they got us in the office one day and they just said, you know what? I guess this is what I imagined, something like what they were saying. You know what? I'm tired of people questioning, and they just need to close their mouths, accept what we do here, and and just take it and go on. Well, some of us didn't do that. And then in that particular church, they teach you you can't just leave. You have to let them know what it is, but don't just walk out the church. And then when you in good faith try to do that, because we tried to do it, I tried to do it, then they reversed it on us, me and my family. And they got us in the office and they showed us something that just blew my mind. They let us know that it was a game. It was never real. They let us know. They were angry because we just wouldn't leave it alone. The questions and so they took us in the office and they just let it all hang out. And that's what really started me on my journey to understand church, the origin of it, what it's really all about, and what it's, and the motives. And I found it. I found it. And so many of our people, that's all we had was religion. And that's all we thought we had because we knew not of ourselves. And once they hid and made us forget about who we really are, then we thought that church was all we had. And so the religion covered our eyes and we got lost in it. And so that's how so many of our people are still lost. They have no idea what the truth is. They have no idea who they are. They have no idea what the church is doing in order to so-called manifest what they've been. And it's not real. It's all material. But they have no idea that they're being used. They have no idea that they're being controlled. Mind control and physical control. I see so many people in church that can't think for themselves, that would totally refuse to use critical thinking in most anything they do if it involves the church. And that's evil to me. That's just evil to take that kind of control over people's minds to where they can't even see what is being done to them. So just to give a brief overview of what I've just shared, know that you are spiritual from birth. It's already in you. You do not need the church to teach you how to be spiritual, okay? To teach you how to be a good person. You were born a good person. You were not born in sin. That's a whole lie. I want to remind you, it's a lie. You were born spiritual. You were born perfect. You were born beautiful. Everything about you. You learn how to be the opposite from these types of systems that they taught you how to, and the frequency, the low frequency that they created, taking control of us. The low frequency puts you in a place where you can behave the way a lot of people have been behaving, in a negative manner. So the system did that to all of us, to every one of us. And some of us got free. Hallelujah. Some of us have so far gotten free. Many of us are getting free every day. But there's so many of our people who can't see past the cross. They just can't see it. And it's so unfortunate because the truth is real. And the truth is still king. And we, ultimately, we need the truth. So understand, once you dig in and you research and you find out the real origin of the church, and the motive that this system has behind what they've done using the church and using these pastors and many of you are going to be so disappointed. Many of you are going to be so shocked. Some of you won't, because I was not that shocked, because I was looking for something that I knew was there. And when I found it, it didn't shock me because I knew it was there. But many people, it's going to take more than them understanding that there's something, and it's going to shock them. And because they're showing us that they're giving us the truth. It's coming out. This is the age of Aquarius, and they have to let us know. So it's coming out, guys. So prepare yourself to be able to handle it. And there's going to be some that I don't care if the church open up and the church show it, and reveal it. There's going to be some of us that's still not going to believe it because the programming is so deep, especially if you've been in there for as long as a lot of our people have been in there. It's going to be hard to break loose. But I promise you, if you start using your own brain and not the man standing in the pulpit, use your own brain, critical thinking. They tell you, be careful with critical. No, you need critical thinking. That's how you keep safe. That's how you keep yourself safe, actually, on the planet. So you need critical thinking. And once you start using those tools, then you'll start seeing the truth. It's right in front of you, in plain sight, actually. And once you start using those tools, you can see it. You will see it. Pull away from the programming. You will see it. So, it really bothers me to see them fool my people for so long. It's like keeping them in prison. And, and I've had people say, well, the church keeps me. If it wasn't for the church, I don't know what I'd do. And I understand that. I understand that. But there's the motive, that the reason they created the church was for there's a bigger picture here that you would have to dig in order to see it. And it's ultimately to keep us controlled as a unit, and keep us controlled, and by division, actually, religion, to keep us controlled and keep us divided. Because as long as we're controlled, we're divided and controlled, then they can control and they can continue to get what they get. They can continue to, do the things that they, originated to do. That's why they did what they did. As long as they can keep us divided and keep us controlled, they can continue to harm us. And that's what they're doing. It's so deep, guys. If I just start research. Don't be afraid to research it. And if you research it and you find something different, then okay, so be it. But don't be afraid to use your own brain, use your own mind, your critical thought, and common sense. Okay? And I can't tell you what to do, but I've been through the fire and I'm on the other side. And I just want y'all to know that there's more to this than what meets the eye. It's so much more, and it's very deep, and it's very evil. And for those of you who will listen to this video and would take the steps, I send you blessings in your journey to get this knowledge, to get this truth. So I'm not gonna go on any further. I just wanted to get this message across to you, and I thank you for taking the time to listen. I'm gonna ask you, as always, to click like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notification bell so you can get all the videos, if any of my content resonates with you. My intentions are always good, guys. And I do this because it's my purpose. I'm divinely positioned to do this. And also because I love you so much. And I tell you that all the time. So you know that. And it's all sincere. It's all authentic, guys. So that's why I do it. Because I love you. I can be doing so many other things, but this is my purpose. So I have to walk in it. So guys, I'm going to sign out. And I'm going to say Assalamu alaikum. Namaste to you. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Be blessed. Dig in, guys. Do your research. I'm sending you good energy today. Enjoy. Blessings. Kisses too. Bye-bye.